All right, hey, get my glasses so I can read the teleprompter. Okay. All right. So hey, how you doing? The Cognoscenti Assembly here. We're gonna talk about the counter weapons grant and how we're gonna put that religious corporation spin on it. This is for $500 million, but I guess we could say half a billion. It also makes it sound good. And also, of course, once we get the funds, that'll make what we're talking about in this video a lot easier. And what this is, what we need to counter, particularly for some of the funding, not all of it, just a portion of it, we're going to use it to counter that thing or its teachings. We'll get into what that thing is and its teachings, possibly at later videos, but we might touch upon it right now. All right, so this was to counter weapons of mass destruction, and at our channel Actual Solutions we go into different things, but for right now we're just going to have the religious twist on it, because this is Cognoscenti Assembly and this is a religious corporation. So one of the weapons of mass destructions that we want to focus on is what was said in the King James Version of the Bible. Not stating that I'm a Christian or follower it or anything like that, but it's definitely a book with some good lessons and historical lessons, and fact checking and applying it to your life and seeing if it's real or not real. It's entirely up to you. But at Cognoscenti Assembly, we combined everything for that single course of action. That's why I like to record stuff, because sometimes I like to see what's presented in front of me. It's not always me presenting myself in front of you. So anyway, in the King James Version of the Bible, located at Matthew 4, verses 1 to 11, it says, the last line reads, which is line 11, then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. They're talking about when Jesus was tempted by the devil in the forest for 40 days, 40 nights. What we would say at Cognoscenti Assembly is what was not included in the Bible was means to face these levels of temptation when you receive your powers or abilities. And we wanted to point that out as the fact that once you acquire your abilities, your temptations will be greater. And that's just something that I guess wasn't counteracted. And once again, as how the 26 CFR 1.501 C3 -1 states that you have the right to advance religion as per the charitable defined in the law. So that's one thing that advanced religion is. We can talk about this point that wasn't included in the book, but that doesn't mean that you can't produce or have countermeasures, because technology is so different from when this book was even made 411 years ago to date. As per the King James Version, there's a lot of advancements that happen that would make it easier probably to face those temptations as opposed to then. So what was not included in the Bible was means to face this. What being did he face exactly? Where did it go? Because the last line said it left. Didn't say it passed away. Didn't say he put a seal on it or anything of that nature. So it might still be running amok, but I'm pretty sure our countries and people in powerful positions truly understand this, and as we go on, it'll be more apparent on how they are. So what was the being that he faced? Where did it go? What did it do to us that we can't overcome certain levels of temptation? And the proof that we can have that we weren't able to is the fact that everything that they were saying in the book should have already came to fruition, and we shouldn't even have to be discussing it in the terms that we do. But that's not anybody's fault, and we'll get to that towards in future videos, or on our Actual Solutions channel. You'll be able to see more about that. But we also go into the biomedical grant. Gives us the ability to be protected against the torture potential over the flesh that this devil, or whatever they call it in the books, multiple translations, words can change, things cannot even be the sounds that we're even making to our own eardrums and our mouth. So I would say the biomedical grant definitely gives us the ability to protect it against its torture potential over the flesh. We could go over more details on that in another video and have different films that showcase certain moments that having that grant successfully applied would definitely stop certain people from continuing certain goals. So, however, though, the spiritual torture is what we are developing at Cognoscenti Assembly is obviously when you get all that power and abilities as per the individual in the Bible, when he was in there for 40 days, for 40 nights, Jesus, when you have that certain power, he has somebody tempt him. So obviously, once you acquire your abilities, you could be all happy that you have them, but something could come and really test them since now you're in a higher upper echelon of awareness and ability. So our first spiritual weapon in development involves dreams and daydreams. However, in this sermon, we're going to just stick to the first weapon, which we can help with, and that is forcing awareness of the power to change and alter the life around us, which is represented by grants.gov, which we're going to go more into. And once again, we're not I never said it before, but I'll say it now. We're not affiliated with the federal government, but we are going to be applying for some of those grants because it's really life-changing once you see the things that they're willing to provide funding for and the changes that you can make. You see this plane flying by. We're going to pay for something like this with more planes and have it fly more often so people can see them more often in the day, not a particular time. And it could get talking about it, get the buzzing. But what this message particularly would say is, I'm going to have it in the video, but back in 2004, Oprah Winfrey, if you're not familiar with her, she was a talk show. She had a talk show. She was a talk show host. And in 2004, she brought brand new cars for her audience. Judging by what we found on Google, we weren't there. I was 14. So she had 276 cars in total, and they were for her audience for that particular showing. And it was $28,500 for the particular car that she gave to her audience, and that was 276 of them. So that's 276 cars. We did the math, and 276 times what it was worth at the time, not right now, was 276 times 38,500. Sorry, I apologize. I can't say money that well. It's more than I have right now. But if I did, maybe I would learn to say it better. I apologize that I don't, because it does take away a little bit from the authenticity. Probably said that wrong. Anyway, so 7,866,000 is how much it costs as per these guidelines of what we searched, which you'll see in the video to the side of me. How much they were worth. So we feel at Cognoscenti Assembly, if we were given this counter weapons grant, we definitely would have no problem putting about 8 million to the side to help promote a message. And this is what we would say. In 2004, Oprah was able to award 276 cars valued at $39,000. We're just going to say that for numbers, but $38,500 at the time to her audience. And what we would want to say is, because we're working with actual solutions, is we have a flyer or an ad like on the back of that plane, and it would say, download the Actual Solutions app and submit the changes you would want in life and your community, and $100 goes to the first 78,000 people. 78,660 people to be exact. And what I did was I divided the amount of how much they say that Oprah may have spent on all those cars, and I divided it by 100. And what they would do for that $100 is to either go on grants.gov or just submit what would they do with the money to counteract anything that they see. As per, when you go on grants.gov, you'll see that there is a tremendous amount of different funding opportunities. It's baffling that they're not available for not widely known, that it's just something like that that's out there. But I guess once you're ready, you stumble upon certain information. But that's really just in this particular sermon. This is sermon 6. We'll be talking to you in sermon 7 about dreams, and hope to see you there. Thank you and goodbye.